welcome everybody to our 8th council meeting with our mayor, Cherelle L. We have our mayor to give a brief statement with me.
Hello. Can I ask my good friend Dr. Masu Park to come up here with me? And Jack, the chairman of the Asian American Federation of the United States, if I can have each of you on both sides. I want to start by saying to you that I am here tonight out of a deep sense of respect and admiration for Philadelphia's Asian American community, along with an extremely long relationship that goes a long, long way back with Dr. Masu Park. Long before I ever became mayor, a council person, or an elected official, he's been a leader and an advocate for the Asian community, along with all of Philadelphia. He's just seasoned. His gray hair is seasoned, but he's been doing it for a long, long time. Give my friend Dr. Park a round of applause, please. And Jack, the first time you and I interacted with each other, whenever I think of institutional knowledge like that, which Dr. Park has, Dr. Park, I often think of Marion Tasco. I think of Marion Tasco and how she and Augusta Clark trained me and worked with me and gave me the opportunity to serve. And so, Jack, when learning that you are actually the chair of the Asian American Federation of the nation, the entire United States, I want you to know that I was super duper proud. Can you please give both of them a huge round of applause? I want to let each and every one of you know that I truly appreciate you all working with our administration to hold this very important town hall discussion here tonight. There is someone who is seated in the audience today saying, wait a minute, this is a history-making moment. I've never not been able to hear Mayor Cherelle Parker. So tonight, I found out on today that even I am human. I wanted to come. I wasn't going to miss this moment. I said to my team, and you have the best and the brightest represent the city of Philadelphia who is here, and any question and or comments that you have, they're going to make sure that I know about it to ensure that the city is responding. But more importantly than that, they're here to make sure they answer your questions. I'm unapologetic. And Dr. Parker, Jack, let me say this to you just in case you get any questions. There is nothing that anyone can do to change my mind about my vision and goal for the city of Philadelphia, and that's to make it the safest, cleanest, greenest big city in the nation with economic opportunity for all. I know it's tough. I know when you hear me talking about one Philly, a united city, we have some challenges, and from time to time, we have some differences, but I think our unity and our strength, when we are working together, we can do amazing things as partners. And so I wanted to just come here so that you can see my face. Thank you. Thank you. I don't want to touch it if that's okay. It goes so that you can see my face, but you to know that my team is here. Chief Deputy Mayor Vanessa Garrett Harley is going to come up and assume the responsibility of continuing to go through sort of the process and the notes that I will be going through here on tonight. But any and every question that you have, we are going to the best of our ability, answer them. Is that okay with you? Thank you all so very much for the patience tonight.
Sorry everyone, because Mayor is under so basically we will have the Deputy Commissioner take over for our questions and everything, okay?
So good evening, everyone. I'm Vanessa Garrett, Harley, Chief Deputy Mayor to Mayor. Okay. We have leaders of our administration here. As they come up, they will either introduce themselves or I will try to introduce them to you. You all have submitted quite a few questions, and then if there's time at the end, we'll take any additional questions that somebody may have that they didn't have an opportunity to send in. Start with the first question.
Okay, the first question is by Ellen Chen, a business owner. For the 250th anniversary of the United States and the World Cup 2026, does the city have any programs for business owners to sign up to get free tourist advertisement?
Karen, you want to call? This is Karen Fegely, our acting commerce director.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for asking that question. We are really trying to make sure we take advantage of all of the business and visitors that are coming to our city in 2026. We're telling all our businesses to be, get ready for company, right? We really want you to be ready to attract new people and new dollars into your businesses. As far as helping you market your business, one of our partners, they're called Visit Philly. They're going to be running sessions to teach businesses how to, what's the right word, like optimize your Google profile, right? I think many of us know if we're looking for anything, right, we Google map it, and you got to be on there and you got to have your information, and there's ways to really optimize that. So there's going to be free courses from Visit Philly teaching businesses how to do that. The other thing we have to offer is that on our Phila.gov 2026 webpage, there is a way for businesses to register to be potentially matched with opportunities that come up, right? Contract opportunities, vending opportunities, those sorts of things. So we are encouraging businesses to go to that page, it's Phila.gov/2026, and ensure that your business is registered so that if there's opportunities for you to bid on something, you can do that. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. In addition to the prior question, what is the city going to do with the huge crowd, heavy traffic, and the safety concern from all these major events for 2026?
The question is, what is the city going to do about the huge crowds, heavy traffic, and safety concerns from all of these major events that we're expecting in 2026? This is Police Commissioner Bethel.
So we have been planning with Giselle and the team for all along 2 years now, right? So the planning for next year started even before I returned to the police department, probably say in 2023. We anticipate a large presence, but it's going to be staggered over days and time, so we will be fully prepared. We will have additional staffing across the entire city and into our complex area and other areas of the city, but we're confident that we will have more than enough staffing to be able to deal with the issues around traffic and the surge of personnel to be able to do that. We'll be bringing additional assets into the city. State police will be coming into the city to support us. We'll be doing our mutual aid, so we'll have our county officers from the counties will be coming in to support us, but we'll be ready. Don't worry.
Thank you, Commissioner Bethel. Our third question is by King Sue. Please stand up. I think he's in attendance tonight. A project that is financially sound and will produce jobs and tax income for our city is opposed by the RCO in the neighborhood, just because the neighbor think that the developer is making money out of it. And the councilman for the district is afraid of the neighbors and will elect him if he supports it. What should the developer do to get a fair assessment of the project and variance for his or her project?
So good Good evening, everybody. My name is Jesse Lawrence. I'm the Director of Planning and Development here in the City of Philadelphia. When it comes to developing anything here in Philadelphia, community support is a big component, almost a requirement in many cases, right? So I think that the developer should garner the support from the community members who actually support the project. It should work with those representatives who advocate for that community, and it should work with the council person to basically solidify that support. To be clear, it doesn't necessarily overrule the zoning process that's associated with getting that deck approved, or excuse me, getting that project approved, but it does inform the process of like stakeholder engagement and community engagement. So, you know, whether it's an actual trip to the ZBA or some sort of letter of support, if it's just a over-the-counter permit, you should definitely work to get that support from the community, because that's the center of everything getting developed here in Philadelphia. So be sure to just start with the community, start with your representatives of the community, and work your way to the council person who will be able to advocate on your behalf.
Thank you. Our next question is by the Hip Sing Association of Philadelphia. Real estate taxes have been increased dramatically over the past few years and becoming a huge issue for a lot of homeowners. Are there any plans to keep the real estate taxes stable? Any predictions for the future tax rates?
Okay, our finance director is not quite here. Rob DeVoe, I'll pitch it for him though. It's important to note that property tax rates have not increased. However, your property values have increased. Those increases in value meant that the assessed values have increased, and as a result, the amount that the homeowner owes in taxes has gone up. But the actual property tax rate has not increased. Although we at the city do understand that those increases in taxes can create challenges for some homeowners, and as a result, we offer an array of property tax relief programs. The Homestead Program, LOOT, Low-Income Tax Freeze, and Senior Freeze combined to provide $393 million in relief to property owners in tax year 2025. Details on all of these programs can be found on the Revenue Department's website. So if you go to phila.gov, the city's main website, you can click on the Revenue Department and it will take you to various links that will talk about all of these programs, and you may or may not be able to qualify for some of these programs that will help minimize what you actually have to pay in the property taxes.
Thank you. Our next question is by Mei Lee. She's in attendance. An owner wants to build a deck in his or her property. There's properties on the same block that also has decks on it. However, the RCO opposes it because a neighbor next door opposes it. What can this owner do to get the variance to build this deck for his or her property?
So the quick answer is that you should really solicit services or feedback from either an architect, attorney, or an engineer, because they'll be the ones that would be most familiar with what the zoning code permits. The best bet that you have in engaging with one of them is getting a very clear and simple answer as to what you can do and what the process ahead would be. So not knowing the very specific conditions of the request, where the existing zoning is, what the dimensions or what the scope is, I think the best place to start is with one of those, an architect, an engineer, or an attorney who's very much so familiar with the zoning code and what it permits.
Thank you. Our next question is by Simon Lee, a concerned business owner. Simon Lee's here. So he has a business that has private trash compartments inside his parking lot. And he has a private trash collection company that picks up trash every day. However, he's keep on getting violation ticket about the trash lid is not closed, because he has like 30 trucks that's coming in and out every hour until the end of the business day. So what can he do to get this resolved from the city?
Hi, Crystal Jacob, Shipman, Commissioner for the Department of Sanitation. It is the responsibility of the business owner to make sure that the area around those dumpsters remains litter-free, and in addition to that, that those lids do remain closed that is a requirement as a part of the conditions for that license that is issued. If you feel like you're being targeted through this, you can still reach out to us, let us know, we'll come take a look, but that is a requirement for your license.
Thank you, Commissioner.
I want to ask something too.
Our next question.
One more second. But you also can follow up with me, just so you're aware, in Center City in particular, my team has supported with enforcement with L&I because we found a large number of our homeless population were migrating to where those dumpsters were open and not sealed. And so we've been really focusing on those areas. We can see where a large contingent of our homeless are populating is where areas where we saw the dumpsters were left open and not sealed. As a result, we have been doing some enforcement. We're more than glad to talk to you afterwards. My inspectors behind you, get your name. We can talk to you how you can make sure that you're compliant, but we are continuing that enforcement downtown. We are seeing some positive results from that by doing that, and so that's some of that enforcement that's coming from the police department, not just my colleagues over here. So, all right?
Thanks, Commissioner Bethel. Our next question is by Keith Xiao, Chairman of the Northeast Development Court. Keith, please stand up. Right there, Keith. There's an unlicensed 24/7 smoke shop that received a cease of operation order from L&I. However, the shop's still operating despite the order. Can you tell us who should we contact to enforce the closure of this shop, L&I or the police department?
So I think you can start with us. I mean, obviously you can call 911. You can call 311. We will issue code violations for those violations. I know my colleague is not here. Is that, where is it? Basil. I'm sorry, Basil. I know you want to come up, Basil, and talk about the L&I component. I did ask Dr. Palak to come up because her team oversees the licensing of tobacco facilities as well. So I think in a joint effort, we can provide you with a comprehensive answer. Basil, please. Good?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Good evening. My name is Dr. Palak Raval-Nelson. I'm the Health Commissioner for the City of Philadelphia. Tobacco establishments require a license from the state, and they also require a tobacco permit from the City of Philadelphia. If you have a place that's open and operating at all hours and you have this complaint issue going on, as the police commissioner mentioned, you can file a complaint through 311. We can also get you information. The challenge with this question is I didn't have the address. If you provide me with the address, I can find out for you whether or not there's an active tobacco permit, and then we will work with licenses and inspections. We will work with the police department, and we can do everything from 48-hour cease operations to 14-day cease operations. So we just need the specific address. All right? Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Raval-Nelson. Our next question is by Suk Chen, a concerned owner. He went to apply for a use and occupancy permit in the city, and it was told that he needs to submit a lead inspection report for the property. After he submitted the lead-based paint inspection report through his Eclipse online account on February 11th, 2025, and he still hasn't received any response from L&I as of this day. What should he do in this situation?
Hi there. Palak Raval-Nelson again. So for lead-based paint-related issues, so every rental property in the city of Philadelphia, as of 2 years ago, is required rental properties to either get a lead-safe or a lead-free certificate. The way that you get that is by hiring a dust wipe technician if your property was built before 1978, and they'll do a visual inspection and a dust wipe test, and then they give you those results, and you upload them in our system, and our system works with L&I directly. So when you go to apply for your rental license, it'll go ahead and ping our system. Now, where I'm getting a little confusion is it sounds like, is this a brand new property that is, if the property was built after 1978, that's when lead paint was banned. So we know that lead causes irreparable harm to kids and everybody else. Everything from lowered IQs to all the way to death. So if the property was built after 1978, then it probably doesn't have lead paint in it, and that requires a different inspection. But if you are stuck in the system And if you can get me the information, we'll absolutely help you figure out how to get your rental license renewed and everything.
Let me clarify the question again.
Yes.
He did get the inspection report done and submitted through the Eclipse already, but he hasn't received a response yet. That's why what he's asking.
So the inspection report does not get submitted to Eclipse. It gets submitted to the lead certification database, which is linked to Eclipse. I can gladly provide the information about where that link is for you to upload that. After this, if you want to connect, I'll give you all of the information.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Commissioner.
We'll absolutely help you get connected the right way.
Thank you, Commissioner. Our next question is by Ben Zhang, and I don't see him here tonight. The question is this: there are flash mobs that comes to our neighborhood and cause problems for business and bystander. By the time the police responded, they all ran away. How can the police improve their response when something bad happens in the future?
So as you may be aware, I mean, many of these surges that we see with young people is through social media. That's probably one of the biggest challenges we face over the last couple of years since I returned to the department. One of the things we've done is really focus on social media. And so we have men and women who are trained analysts who are tracking social media to identify when the kids are putting something into a site and say they're going to surge into a particular location. Broad and CB Moore may be a classic example. Temple was getting barraged with young people coming on a regular basis. What we've done is work proactively to go after those organizers who set those events up. So for every one event you may see, we may have 5 or 6 that we've been able to stop because of that intelligence, going back to those organizers, telling them to take the post down. That has been extremely successful for us. For the ones that develop, particularly on Friday and Saturday nights, we surge with our mobile field force. We have other assets that we're able to surge into those areas to address those. So we've been able to, it was a problem coming out of part of last year. We've been able to do a far greater response model now with the flash one. But that being said, we're always going to be dealing with situations because young people, all you have to do is take your phone and say, I got a party here at Lebanon, Washington, and they will come. And so our biggest challenge is getting there, neutralizing that activity. Most of it is convergent behavior. Most of it is not meant to be violent. They just surge into these areas, and we're able to address those effectively. But if you do see an incident or you have information, you can clearly call us to the 686-TIPS, 215-686-TIPS to let us have that information. Let your commander officer, your captain of your district know you have some information. Call 911 that you've got some information, the kids are about to surge. We can do we can analyze that and see if we need to do some pre-deployment to divert that away from you. All right? Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner Bethel. Our next question is also for Commissioner Bethel. There are homeless people that sleep in front of the business shop. How should a business owner deal with them without causing any confrontation?
So first and foremost, we would advise you never to confront our homeless population. What we do know that a large percentage of our homeless population many have addiction issues, but there's a far greater of them who also have mental health issues. And so we would advise you to call 911 to let us know that information. Work with your captain if you have somewhere where it's a significant problematic location. Most of our homeless, a large percentage of our homeless population, our unsheltered population, is in Kensington, which you know we're dealing with that. The next largest area we have is Center City. But I'll share with you we're doing a lot of things down in Center City to be able to address the homeless population. As you heard me talking about the dump shoes that we're doing are related to that. We're doing cleanups in Center City to be able to do that work. We're doing a lot of education with the business community. I'll give you a classic example. The team just recently worked with the banking companies to be the vestibules going into when you use the Mac machine. Well, we found a number of our homeless shelters were going into those spaces, not just for warmth, but they had, they could plug in they still have phones. So they're plugging in their phones to charge their phones in those vestibules. So we asked them to plug them so that they would not come in there. We're working with our Office of Homeless Services working with Americans as part of to be able to put individuals out on the street with us, to help us with many of the individuals that are having issues. That is going well with us. Center City District has hired an outreach worker to support us during the week. But we've been doing a full in-press. This has been one of the major charges of the mayor to talk about what we're dealing with our homeless. I have a colleague up here who looks like she's going to come up and talk about the work as well. I'm getting my pictures. I think I'm out of questions, so I might be good.
Hi everybody, my name is Amanda David and I am the Deputy Commissioner at DBH-IDS, Department of Behavioral Health and Intellectual Disability Services. And we operate the DBH-IDS homeless outreach teams. We have a number of teams that operate around the city, that rove around the city and engage individuals who are homeless to try to get them connected to housing and other supports. If you see a homeless person that you're concerned about, you can call the phone number 215-232-1984. I have some handouts here that I'll also leave over on one of those tables so that you can access that. If you do, if the individual is engaging in behavior that is illegal or threatening, then definitely call 911. But if the person is not engaging in those types of behaviors, please contact homeless outreach so that we can work to support and engage the individual to eventually get them moved along into housing or other supports. And I'll leave these two documents on the table with the 311.
Thank you. Our next question is by Jeff High. He's in attendance tonight. I guess he's probably. Okay. The question is, after the city installed bike lane and poles near 11th and Washington Avenue, the traffic became very congested with quite a bit of accidents involving cars and bikes. Is there any plan by the city to resolve this situation?
Yeah, so I'll kick it over to my colleague here, but I do want to give you some statistics before we start. Last year in 2024, January 2024 to December 2024, there was 25 auto accidents, 1 pedestrian, 4 bicycle accidents in the general area, but more importantly, at 11th and Washington, there were 8 accidents and 1 pedestrian. As of this year, we have 6 accidents and 1 pedestrian. So we have not seen an increase in the number of accidents at the 11th in Washington. That has not occurred. So that's just the statistics, but I'll turn it over to my colleague here, and he's going to talk more about what they're doing.
Thank you, Commissioner. Hello, everyone. Kristen Del Rossi, Streets Commissioner for the City of Philadelphia. So currently, our engineering division is reviewing the traffic signal timings and offsets on the corridor to improve safety as well as traffic flow through the corridor. In addition, we are working with Washington Avenue Association of Business and Residents and review their concerns in regards to traffic congestion and safety. Streets Department has been meeting with the captain of the 3rd Police District and is committed to increased enforcement during the AM and PM rush hour. This increased enforcement began last week, October 20th. The overall goal is to improve safety along the roadway, especially for pedestrians and bicyclists. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Del Rossi. The next question is by Alex Thomas, a business owner who's here. There are a lot of speed bumps in the area of Bustleton Avenue to Byberry Road to Warren Street. What can we do to reduce some of these speed bumps?
Good evening, Kristen Del Rossi, Streets Commissioner again. The Streets Department is partnering with PennDOT. We installed speed slots in multiple locations along Bustleton Avenue. The installation of these traffic calming devices reduced the speeds along the corridor, resulting in reduction in traffic crashes, while reducing injuries, fatalities, and property damage along the corridor. At this point, there is no plan to remove or reduce the number of these pavement undulations and have proven to be efficient and countermeasures to speeding along the corridor, increasing traffic safety.
Thank you, Commissioner, again. The next question is also by Alex Thomas. In the area of Welsh Road to Pine Road to Darlington Road, the traffic lane has been reduced to 1 lane recently, and it's causing a lot of delays. Can the street department change back to the 2 lanes like before?
Hello, Streets Commissioner. The Welsh Road project is a PennDOT safety improvement project with the objective to reduce the high frequency of pedestrian, angle, and rear end crashes. The project included the installation of new traffic signal equipment along the corridor. The traffic signal construction and new equipment is partially complete. Fiber communication between each intersection and the City of Philadelphia's Traffic Operations Center has not been established yet. Once connectivity with our TOC, the Streets Department will optimize the signal timings to allow for better traffic management along the corridor. We appreciate your patience as we work to improve safety, optimize traffic efficiency, and traffic management.
Thanks, Commissioner Del Boschi. Actually, that was our final question for the night. Anybody in the audience has any other questions?
Thank you very much, folks. My name is Mohan Parmar. I'm a business owner from South Street. My question is, street closure over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night at 10 o'clock. It really suffers the customers as well as the restaurateurs. So see if we can get some highlights on that. Even is that bad that the police have to give us a ticket after 10 o'clock. And even though you own the business, you own the buildings, you still have to get a ticket. So we need to share that.
So he's asking about street closures.
Talking about street closures on South Street? Yes. Yeah, I have an inspector here. He'll walk you through what the purpose is behind that. That's a coordinated effort. Inspector Taylor leads the South Division, and he can explain to you what the purpose is behind that.
Okay, Inspector Taylor from the South Police Division. So the purpose of having the street closures on South Street, I remember going back a year, 2-3 years ago, we were having a lot of problems with the juveniles coming down, and also vehicles, the dirt bikes, the motorcycles coming down to ride on the sidewalk. So what we had to do to come up with a way to prevent that was start street closures. Beginning, I think it's on 10th South, all the way down to Front South, to help us with the traffic issues, but also it kept a lot of the crowds out. As you remember, we had a lot of issues with some street violence down there. But with the closures, now we've reduced that violent population, and now we just have more time for the business owners and the people that want to come down and eat and have a good time. So it's all about safety for us. So that's why we have the street closures in effect.
Okay, one more question.
My name is George Lolik and I am from Northeast Philly. Given the opposition and traffic concerns raised by the Greater Busselton Civic League, what is your administration's position on the proposed UPS development at 1 Red Line Road?
Hi, good evening. I'm Mike Cherelle. I'm the Deputy Managing Director for the Office of Transportation and Infrastructure Systems. I'm not familiar with the traffic analysis at that location, so what I'm going to ask for you to do is to reach out to us and maybe give us a little bit more information on that location, and we can look into it. Typically, when there's a development, some of that is allowable by right, and in those instances, we can offer some comments in terms of what the impacts may be along the sidewalk or at the corner adjacent to that site. If there are requirements for zoning variants, other larger scale developments, we typically coordinate with PennDOT, and this sounds like a project that we would be coordinating with PennDOT, so we can reach out to them and see if they have some traffic analysis, and I'll talk with the commissioner and her team to see if there's any comments we develop, but I would appreciate maybe after this meeting we could talk, I can get the address.
Thank you. Any other questions? If not, I would like everybody to give all our city officials a big round of applause for coming in for our town hall meeting. And their information all around our town hall meeting if you were interested, you could go to their table and pick up the information.